Hi, it's Ashlyn Harris. This segment is sponsored by Vital Proteins. So, what I wear is never just about aesthetics, it's about armor. Before a competition, it's how I actually lock in. If I feel like myself, I actually feel ready. During competition, it disappears in the best way. I'm not thinking about it, I'm embodying it. And after, it's a part of how I process what I just gave. Style gives me agency. It reminds me I'm not just performing for someone else, I'm actually showing up for myself. So for me, it was always about moments when I leaned into who I was instead of trying to mute it. Bright colors, bold choices, a little edge never hurt anybody, but goalkeepers already live on an island. So owning that individuality felt liberating for me. It was my way of saying, I belong here exactly as I am, and I'm not shrinking to make anyone feel more comfortable. There's absolutely a double standard when it comes to what male and female athletes wear, and truthfully, it's exhausting. Women are constantly being told to be strong, but not too strong, expressive, but not too distracting, confident, but not defiant. When women use style as self-expression, it's policed. When men do it, it's branding. That gap tells you everything you need to know. The issue isn't the attire, it's actually the control. When an item like personal style is banned or regulated by an organization, it honestly feels like you're being told your identity is a problem. Like someone is saying, we want your performance, but not you. And that actually cuts deeper than people realize. Style isn't frivolous. It's cultured, personal, and emotional. And when it's taken away, it sends the message that like conforming matters more than humanity. And I don't like that. How does taking care of myself off the field connect to how I present myself on the field? Well, everything is connected. How I nourish my body, how I recover, the rituals I keep, those are acts of respect. One of the many ways I take care of my body off the field is with Vital Proteins, collagen peptides. Vital Proteins gives my body the building blocks it needs to support my joints, and it doesn't stop there. Vital Proteins, collagen peptides also help support healthy hair, skin, and nails. When I take care of myself off the field, I show up more grounded, more confident, more intentional. Presentation isn't vanity, it's alignment. When your inside and outside are in sync, you compete differently, you move differently, and you move with more clarity. The most important thing, you play free. Welcome back to another episode of Wide Open. I'm your host, Ashlyn Harris, and today we have a very special guest, Katherine McCafferty. Today's conversation is funny, vulnerable, and deeply real. The kind that reminds us we're all just trying to figure out love, identity, and where we belong. The comedian, writer, and creator of the hit show Pretty Gay is what you expect. Pretty, charming, all the things. I love sharing space with her. She's built such a massive following for being honest, hilarious, unfiltered, and to talk about queer dating and modern relationships, which we all love. But beyond the humor, Katherine is someone who uses storytelling to make people feel seen, especially in the messy, beautiful in-between spaces of figuring out who you are and how you love. We talked about dating in today's world, embracing queerness, finding safety, and why laughter can sometimes tell the deepest truths. This is a conversation about belonging, self-acceptance, and learning to live honestly, even when it's uncomfortable. So settle in, everyone. Let's get into it. This is Wide Open. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Wide Open. I'm your host, Ashlyn Harris, and today we have the very special guest, Katherine McCafferty. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love that I said to our as like I have a co-host that I'm talking to and I'm throwing them to like, hey, so this is your time to join in. Welcome to our show.
Absolutely. I use we all the time. And I had a therapist once say, okay, so what's that about? And I was like, well, maybe it's about time that we get a new therapist.
I am obsessed. This is my first time meeting you, which is very
Yes.
unfortunate because I feel like we'd be really close homies. And I just flew home from LA and now I'm like, well, damn, we should have done this in
Sorry. Hold on.
Oh my God, so cute.
We just moved, and so we don't have curtains on all the windows.
So your dog is just watching every single person walk by?
Yeah, so she just like saw something that she didn't like. But
Probably a man.
yeah.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
sorry.
no, 100%. It is like we go to the dog park and then she picks one man to bark at. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it is always men though. It's
It
all
really?
like I meet so many dogs and they all tell me that they just bark at men.
Yep. Shocking. Shocking, but not shocking. First off, I'm just going to call out all of my peeps who are behind the camera right now. Everyone's obsessed with you. Like, we could have anyone on and they're like, no, no, no. Katherine's here. We're geeking out about it. Like, my whole team is queer, which I'm obsessed with and clearly wouldn't have
Yay.
any other way. So I'm going to call them out. They have been really looking forward to this, and it's gotten me super excited. And I started stalking you and doing a deep dive, and now I'm like obsessed with you too. So it's really fun.
Amazing. That is my goal. When people come up to me and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm like, no, do you think that I do this so that people don't interrupt me and tell me how wonderful I am?
I know, seriously. I've been waiting my whole life for someone just to say something nice about me. Thanks.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays on the internet. You can't catch a fucking break.
Truly, but I am so grateful because I have a lot of friends who are women on the internet who ask me like, "Oh, how do you deal with like the hate or just like the weird comments?" But my fans are so wonderful. And I think that the algorithm, obviously everything is evil, but somehow my algorithm is doing its work and just like serving my content to like queer people who want to say nice things to me.
Well, I love that. At least there's one of us,
So
honey.
I know. I'm out here bragging.
What
Okay.
a privilege.
Truly. I know. I know. But I was a woman on the internet before when I was doing stand up and releasing clips. And anytime I released a stand up clip, it was like, this is why women aren't funny. And then just like a bunch of like terrible things. And I'd be like, okay, well, fine. I'll do my impression of my bra to myself in my mirror,
Oh
whatever.
my God. Well, we have to get into this because you have such an incredible story. And clearly our audience is mostly queer, or they better be, because that's what we're rolling with. I don't think many
Also, it's
people would stay.
2026.
Hello. If this administration isn't turning you gay, honey, I don't know what the fuck is.
Truly.
I'm like, run from everyone. Mostly men, white,
Yeah, just be inside.
privileged, rich. Just stay inside, ladies.
Unfortunately.
God, it is such a mess. I have read your story, and for our audience who might not know you, we'll dive into your show Pretty Gay here pretty soon. But you're like late in life coming out. So tell me
Yes.
a little bit about who you were before the show, before all of this, because your story is so incredible. And did you go to school for biology?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I love science.
not only are you insanely talented, you're insanely smart, you're insanely pretty. Like, how does it feel to have everything?
Oh, gosh. Thank you so much for asking. This is a question I get all the
All
time.
the time.
No, my eyelashes are not very long. So,
We always
so
have
that's
to
sort
have
of a plight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
exactly.
pretty girl has one flaw. It's either they have a really long middle toe or a long
Yeah.
earlobe. It's
Wait
something
a
that
second.
hides.
I do have a middle toe that's really long.
I told you. It's always something.
That's so wild. I did start out straight. I do come from the straight community. Obviously that's not true because you're born who you are, but it just like never occurred to me that was kind of on the table. And it's not because of how I grew up. My dad was religious, so like I did go to Catholic church and like I know how to say a rosary, but Who doesn't? But so there is obviously some religious trauma there. Uh, but then my mom and my dad were both very accepting, and nobody was like, you can't be X, Y, and Z. It just like I wasn't around any lesbians. It wasn't portrayed on TV really. We didn't have cable, so like I wasn't seeing
Whoa.
any. Yeah, I mean, just channels.
Yeah, I get it.
Um, yeah, so then and I always was like, well, I had a really nice boyfriend in high school, and then I went to college and I met some like mean boys that I dated. But I was like, this is like fine. I'm just like mildly unhappy. And it felt like everyone was. It's just
Mildly.
like,
Yeah, fair.
like, and everything felt hard and I was unhappy for other reasons. And so, like, it just didn't occur to me to look at.
Mm.
And then I moved to LA and I was still so straight, but would talk about how I just wanted to sleep with women.
Mm-hmm. There were signs.
Yeah. Oh, no, there were so many signs.
There
I
were
mean, I was
signs.
obsessed with like, I had, those friendships where I was like obsessed with her and we'd sleep in the same bed and I'd be
Oh,
like, oh,
honey,
this
we
is
all
crazy.
had it. We all had
Exactly.
it.
We'll practice kissing. Who cares? So blah, blah, blah. But then my dad was in the hospital and he passed away. And I came out like almost immediately after that
Wow.
because I was just like, oh, I don't know. I just didn't want to go through life like being mildly unhappy forever. And I felt like he had a lot of unhappiness that he didn't get to look at. And then at the end of his life, he was like, oh, I wish I looked at this.
Wow.
So
That's powerful, though.
it just kind of came out of my pores though. Like I was unable to hide it anymore.
Yeah.
And that was like it was like right before I was 25, I think. It's like 24, I think. Yeah.
Well, how does that feel to like reflect and be such like an iconic person people tune into about queerness? Like when you really think about that and you rewind, like how does it feel to fully be home and be like truly who you are? Because it's the truth. It's never too late.
Oh,
The
no.
person I'm with right now, like was 41 or 42 years.
Yeah.
It's like she
No.
literally says all the time, like, how did I not see all the signs? I'm home. This is me.
Yes. Yeah. It is like wild when you finally like find it and then you go like, oh, like I was the biggest barrier to me like getting here, but I got to where I needed to be like at the time I was meant to get there. There was just a lot of noise in my life before that. So I don't know that I would have been able to really like accept myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels amazing now. I'll say that there was a lot of like, oh, am I making this up? Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I am just like pretending to seem cool. Just like I don't know. Like also you meet some people who will challenge your queerness from whatever bag of shit they're, pulling
Dealing with.
alongside the
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it's never about you, um but I thought it was, when I'm in my early mid 20s and people are like, "Well, you just like had a bad boyfriend." And I was like, "Yeah, I've had a bunch of bad boyfriends, but but they never made me come out, like
Mm-hmm.
it was like a me thing. It was I wasn't like with anybody at the time. So it feels really nice now to be able to embrace it, have this like internet show where I get to like go on queer dates, and it that show was born out of me not really going on a lot of dates because I came out and then I immediately got partnered and then I got engaged to that person. So we're not married. Surprise!
Surprise!
It didn't work out. But I mean, I learned a lot.
Cool.
But didn't know anything about dating because like that was my first
Mm.
queer partner. So I was like, whoa, I don't know anything. I'm now single after this 5-year long relationship. And my friend, Sam Reich and Elaine Carroll, they were like, well, we want to executive produce a project for you. And we just like brainstormed. And I was like, well, what if we sort of took the fact that I don't know how to like gay date and we just mine that for material?
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
And so it was just like a ploy for me to get better at dating. And I
And
have.
what it really, have you really learned a lot from it? Are you dating right now?
Oh
Are
my
you
gosh.
in a
I'm out and
relationship?
about.
You're out and about. Ooh, what's it like
Um,
to be out and about in 2026 being
well,
queer? What
it's
are the streets like? Tell me everything. Let me live through you.
well, it's it's amazing. It's interesting going into queer spaces now because people will sort of know like my the show. And so I'm like, oh, interesting. I can't just like be a menace to society. I have to show up and be like above board on everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, as you should always, but it feels like awkward sometimes to be like meeting new people when they've binged like you on a bunch of dates with people, you know, like it's just, I don't know. People have that parasocial relationship, as I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's lovely being in Los Angeles. I lived in New York for a little bit. I'm from Chicago. So these are all major cities, and I'm extremely privileged that there's like a
Hmm.
vibrant queer community. The Patreon community that I have also is like so nice and squishy and lovely. And people will write in and like try to connect with one another because not everybody lives in these major cities.
Mm-mm.
And so yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know if that answers the question, but it's lovely because of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool. It's cool to have learned from some really hot comedians how to flirt.
I know. Tell me about this because I have watched a few episodes and some of my homies have been on and I was crawling out of my skin a little bit. I was like, "Oh my God, thank God this is not me." I
Yeah.
watched Shannon Beveridge
Oh my
episode
God. I
and I was like, "Oh my
know.
God, are you going to kiss? I don't know. Oh, you're
Yeah,
asking for permission. Oh, are we serious? Oh,
I
ee."
know. And poor Shannon also is like so genuine, and so I am a little bit of a menace on the show depending on like the vibe you're giving out, and she's playful so
Oh
she'll like
yeah.
go with it. But I watched back that episode and I was like, oh my God, I was so like not giving her anything, especially during the kiss, just being like, whatever, if you want to go for it. And she's like, no, you have to tell me.
Yeah, she was shitting herself.
Yeah, so
It's
sweet. But
very, very, very sweet though.
I'll always try to make sure that I'm the person who looks like more of the clown, more of the
Yeah.
fool. Especially if a guest is like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to do that." I'll be like, "I'll do it. I'll do it instead." Like, I'll flirt with you first or whatever, because one of our segments is like pretending to flirt with one another.
I love this part of the show, but and do you carry that really with you outside when you go to date? Like, are you that same type of like confident flirt, or is that just you're just that's a you
No,
you're playing your part on the show?
yeah, I'm confident when I'm on stage or in front of a camera. And sometimes at parties I can like kind of like turn it on, but uh I'll say like I had like these two parties last week. One where and I didn't know if I was going to know anybody there.
Yeah.
I knew I would kind of know one person at both. So the first party I walked in, I was like very social. I was introducing myself to people. I felt really comfortable. And then for whatever reason, second party, I walk in and I'm like, "Oh, I have to go hide in the bathroom."
Oh
Oh,
my God.
turns out I have to hide in the bathroom.
I do the same thing.
It's just like so I don't know. It's dependent, I guess, on like what kind of day I had, the atmosphere of the party. Like if one person gives me one kind of look that I perceive as like, oh no, my hair's out of place or something. Like it's so silly. Because nobody's actually paying attention to you at a party. Like and how freeing. What a
Yeah,
gift, you know?
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, so it's really like hit or miss on if I show up like with confidence or not.
Well, that's fair. I mean, because I would not have guessed that. I got to be honest. I thought you were like that funny,
Yeah,
person working the room and like just
totally.
have like this little sass and flirt to you that makes everyone laugh and it's like a gentle, warm hug. But here you see
Sometimes, and then sometimes I'm in
I'm
the
hiding in the
corner
bath.
like
Yeah,
reading a book.
pulling my hair.
Literally, I'm just like, but I'm fine being silent in the corner observing the party.
Yeah.
And that's I think what um makes people sort of be like, "Oh, like who really are you?" Because I can really be both. I can be sort of a social butterfly or I'm fine showing up alone and like
Yeah.
sitting in the corner and then deciding, who does look friendly, but I'm going to be more reserved before I approach anybody.
Well, now that you have this show and it seems like you're an expert at it, what advice would you give people who are coming out later in life? Like what advice would you give them in dating and flirting, how to like
Yeah.
approach the situation?
I
Because
think
there's a lot of people
everyone's
out there still just
yes,
like in the closet, honey, especially lately. It's
absolutely.
like fear, 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 fear.
Absolutely. And I think that it's so scary to maybe even question your sexuality and then not explore it. It'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, but that's not for me, until I know, no. You're not gonna. Like, yes, I think some people are really self like assured and those people probably come out earlier. But you can just be out. You can just be out and about. Like you don't have to put a label on it if you don't want to. And if that doesn't feel safe, you can go to a queer event. You can hang out by the bathroom and compliment one person's outfit. And usually somebody's going to like take that compliment and start a conversation with you. That's how I like would go to queer events when I was going alone, like when I wouldn't like invite a friend or anything. I would just wear something that made me feel really confident. I would hang out in the bathroom. I would compliment one person. And if that's the only thing I did, great. I went home. I was like, cool, I did it. But I do think you have to make sure that you feel safe. You you should try to have a community, which could just be one person. Just tell
Mm-hmm.
one person how you feel. Um, and then just see what the reception is because more likely than not, like it's so scary inside, but once you say it out loud, it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's like not gonna kill me.
Exactly. I mean, just watch Heated Rivalry. It'll really help you get out of your shell. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Just do that.
Do you
Just
want
okay.
advice? Watch Heated Rivalry. Okay.
Watch heated rivalry. Become a hockey player. Okay.
Yeah. Have an ass
Have
like a
abs.
juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ass and abs. I am not even kidding you. Do you want to hear it? Oh my God. I can't believe I'm telling you this.
Yes.
Okay. So my partner last night just finished finally Heated Rivalry. Like, hello, welcome to the party, Sophia.
Yes.
Anyways, I was like thinking, because she's always like the spicy one in the relationship. Oh, I got online and I was like, jock strap. I got a chick jock strap. Like
Oh,
sexy ass out. Like like the old school
hot.
jock. Hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she gets home, she's not going to listen to this podcast. She gets home, she's going to see me in that hot assless jock strap and she's going to fucking lose her mind. Or at least she better. In my
Yeah.
head, she's
Exactly.
losing it. But yeah,
She's
it really,
absolutely gonna lose her mind.
I saw those juicy booties and I was like, I got one of those. I need to
Absolutely.
like position it
Also, if
well.
you just like sort of highlight it, like,
Yeah.
if you're wearing sort of anything like that, like even just a strap on, I feel like usually
Yeah.
highlights it. And I'm like,
Totally.
okay, like absolutely from the front, You're wearing something that we're going to use, but turn around.
I love this. This is so good. She's gonna be so pissed at me. I can't. But for someone who has a lot of history with both men and women,
Mhm.
like because like I haven't been on a date with a man in over 20 years. So I'm just like, blah. What do you think is the biggest difference between queer dating and heteronormative like dating culture? Like I need to know everything. So like if you were to sit down and go on a date with a chica, like what are we
Mhm.
experiencing there? Cuz I have thoughts compared to
Yeah.
what we are if we're sitting next to like a dingbat.
Yeah,
I
I
mean a
just think
man.
oh, totally. Me just immediately answering. Um I I hmm I just think we're speaking a different language, and some people um are down for that divide, and that's like exciting for them. I'm talking about straight people. And they liked, to I think that they know how to connect to that different language, but I just never did. I just was like, oh, we just will never have anything in common, and I guess we just like have sex and I'll be there. Like, I, I don't know. It wasn't though, like, I probably had, like, a couple experiences, though, with guys that I was like, "Oh, this is cool," but we still just weren't on the same page because we were cultured differently, and I think that
Hmm.
people can absolutely do the work to, like, look at that, and, I have a few men in my life, believe it or not. They exist, and they've done the work to, kind of, uh examine their own masculinity and the patriarchy and what their part is and what their privilege is and all of that, and then done the work to really try to understand and hear where women or non-binary or queer people in general are coming from, and like
Hmm.
and then like what that story is and what those people deal with on a daily basis. Like, if you really do that work, I do think you have a more similar language across the way from somebody who's a different gender than you. But
Hmm.
I also do think that in the queer community, we still have to look at that. We still are a part of the patriarchy. So
Hmm.
I have absolutely been on dates with gorgeous women who say wild things like, "Okay, but you don't look gay." And I'm like, "Do you know how offensive that is? Like,
Yeah.
do you know that that actually is why I didn't come out for so long?" And the
Hmm.
answer is like, "Ha ha ha, that was a joke." And it's like, "No, it
No.
actually wasn't a joke. You were hoping that I would have a different reaction, but it wasn't a joke. You were hoping I would take it more lightly, and I'm
Hmm.
just not a light person." I
Well,
really am. I'm just
no,
not.
and I think you just nailed on that. And I'd love to talk more about it because I do think it is something unfortunately very beautiful queer women get faced with is like if you're feminine and you enjoy high heels and beautiful, clothing and makeup and doing your hair like as you should, it's somehow you're not gay enough
Mhm.
or not gay enough passing, and we're still being faced with these type of like barriers that we have to act or look, we have to
Mhm.
be a little more butchy, we've got to be this that, and it's like everything is so critical when it comes to women.
Mhm.
This is designed for a reason. This is
Mhm.
how we place women in boxes, period.
Oh,
So I'm
100%.
I'm curious like how that was for you coming out being such a feminine, beautiful woman and everyone being like, you're not gay enough.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that made me question my own queerness, but at the same time, I think that was also like an age thing because I was still coming into like my body and my mind, and
Mhm.
so I was very easily influenced, especially by the older queer community, which is why like now stepping into more of like I'm the older queer community. I do think it's important that we don't perpetuate that language. Um, and that everyone like has the room to explore as long as they're doing it in a way where they understand like how much space they're taking up and how much they're giving back to the community. I still think that's
Mm-hmm.
important. Um, I've never not known like what my privilege is walking into a room. I do have the privilege of walking into a room and having people assume something about me and then
Mm-hmm.
treat me differently based on that assumption. And and then the darker side of that is that a man could ask me out and has before. And then when I say that I don't date men, they become violent. And it's because I look like a pretty thing that should want to be with him. So
Wow.
I think that's like a double edged sword, and we're all like carrying a bag of shit. And it's like just so uncomfortable when you're like looking at your queer sibling and you're both carrying a bag of shit and they're like, well, your shit isn't heavy enough. And you're like, okay, I don't want to win the trauma Olympics.
No.
And how about
No,
you
thank
shouldn't
you.
want to win either?
Exactly. It's like the scars are the badge of honor. No, thank you. Let me just
No, but
live.
we could just both like help each other, and it is also obviously a tool of mainstream society to keep us fighting each other so that we don't fight you know, the powers that be.
Yeah.
So I think once we realize that and we're more settled in the community, but I did have to prove myself, and that was fine because I had the time and I had the energy.
I love this. You're literally preparing for battle, earning your stripes.
Yeah.
Are you on the dating apps?
No.
No.
No, I wouldn't do that.
We're not a dating app kind of gal.
I will say that when I have been on the dating apps, my friends have looked at the way that I have a conversation and they're like, have you ever had sex before? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you.
Yeah, just to dispel those rumors.
You heard it here first, everyone, to set the record straight. Not so straight.
I have had sex. But I just like don't, even though I'm somebody who like came up through stand up and like is somebody who talks for a living, trying to connect with like a joke that maybe you need to say with your mouth via words, like it gets lost in translation. And like trying to do like a weird obscure bit with somebody, it just doesn't really translate.
I just don't want to be like abducted. Like I'm okay. I
Yeah.
watch too many murder shows.
Oh, for sure. But if you don't date men, you are less likely to be murdered.
Well, that's always a
So-
good. We'll keep that in our back pocket. Being
Yeah.
queer, I'm into that. We'll
And
take the wins when we can.
You're more likely, like, if you go back to somebody's place, you should go back to their place versus your place because you're more likely to get killed at your place because of cleanup reasons.
Isn't it scary that we know these statistics and stats?
It is wild.
Up. Men will never understand.
No, a lot of them truly won't. But I don't know. Whatever. I don't
Okay.
talk to them.
No, exactly. That was a 20-year-old dated, buried 6 feet under. What do you consider is like an absolute red flag in dating? Like, I'll share. I am like, anytime I see someone in flip-flops, I'm like, they're a serial killer.
So are you not into toes in general? Like
Why? Because
like,
I've said 2 toe comments so far on this podcast.
or just like, a lot of people have feet stuff. But some people just like really don't want to see like bare toes unless they're like in love.
I shower 3 times a day. I wash my hands
3?
excessively. Oh, I'm
Wow.
nuts. Like my partner is always like you can't be that dirty. Like it's
I
just
know, yeah.
something I like to clean. I'm like, you can't even be comfortable at my house. The second like an empty cup, like or a little halfway full, like it's gone. She already cleaned it. It's gone, wiped. See ya. Someone goes back to it's gone.
Totally.
I just like to clean. It's like something about my anxiety that like keeps me distracted from like
Yeah.
maybe social settings. I don't know what it is,
Well,
but
absolutely. I mean, having a task at a party. Oh my God.
have to.
Assign me something.
I don't
That's
even have to be at
amazing.
I don't even have to be at my own house. I'm taking out the trash. I'm cleaning up.
Yes.
I'm loading the dishwasher. I'm doing it all. Bye.
100%. Yeah. I think that is the biggest gift that you give somebody though at a party is a job. So I don't know. And listen, people come to my parties. They love it. I
Exactly.
put them immediately to work.
I would be such a good friend. You need me. Okay, but back to what I was asking. What is
Yeah.
your red flag? Toes or not?
Yeah.
I will say I've never put feet in my mouth, so it's definitely not my kink.
Okay, totally. I mean,
I guess
I've had a foot in my mouth before, but was more for the other person, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't for me, but if this is for you, I'll try." Honestly, your face is hilarious, but I'll try anything once. I truly will.
I just wonder if people actually wash their feet.
Well, that's a whole thing about like white people don't wash their legs or their feet.
Yeah, I am like on one foot scrubbing between the toesies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've showered with a few peeps, and some
I
of them
know.
don't wash their feet.
I know.
And I've been
as
in the
well.
locker room for a long time, and I'm judging. I'm staring and I'm judging.
Yeah, as you should. I think everyone needs to be judged just a little bit. But what's a red flag for me? I think that I have a couple. If somebody makes future plans with me, like in a sort of a long term but abstract way on the first date, that's a big red flag. It feels too intimate.
No U-hauling for you.
No. And I don't want somebody to be like, it's so specific, but and I'm sure it comes from like me just being like a little bit more reserved than I come off on the internet. But people will say like, "Oh, my aunt has like a boat." And if we go out like now in February, my aunt has a boat. I would love to take you on it in June. She does this like big sort of party. To me, I have to leave.
It's a no.
Well, it's just like if this is our first date, you're making plans in June. I feel like you don't know me. And so to me, that means that this is like how you are on dates. You've made this plan with many girls. It's just too familiar. I don't want somebody to act like they know me or what my plans are in June.
I honestly totally fair.
So,
and
yeah.
I like when you go on dates, are you usually the one asking people out or people asking you out? Like, what is your vibe? Or are you just kind of like split in the middle?
Yeah, I think it's a little 50-50. I mean, to be honest, like I've gotten asked out through Instagram by people who I'm like, "Oh, interesting." Like people who I sort of know but don't like have never met.
Yeah.
So I've gone out with those people. I have absolutely made moves as well. Like if I think somebody's really cute and we're like out, I'll like buy them a drink and then see if they want to kiss.
Okay, so we move quick. It's like, here's a drink, now put your lips on mine. Thank you.
I will absolutely kiss anybody.
We've watched your show. We know, honey.
My mom, shame there. I'm like, don't pretend like you know who I am, but I will make out with you. But that is true. Like,
don't tempt me with a good time.
Like, we can kiss, but don't act familiar.
Yeah. Don't ask me for plans outside of this night. I don't want to hear it. I just want your lips on mine. Thank you.
Yes.
And your feet in my mouth.
Okay, no, we cannot start that rumor. It was one time.
Okay, fine. Okay, listen. Okay, ideally, are you a girly that likes to have coffee for the first date because you want to figure out like if they're worth your time to be at a dinner? Because like there's no escaping that. Are you a drinks? Are you a dinner? Are you a long walk? Where are we?
Say there is escaping everything. You can always leave. Okay. I mean, even a dinner. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I braved the storm. I braved the storm, honey.
I will stay. I will have a truly 8-hour date with somebody that I despise. But that's because I like that story. But if you really want to leave a place and you are at dinner, free yourself by giving them a story. Like
Yeah.
say, oh, you know what? I really have to go. I'm so sorry. I have to go. And then leave. And then they have a gorgeous story to tell their friends. And yes, you are the villain, but you should be the villain in some people's narratives.
Oh, have to be.
Yeah.
Not
Otherwise, you're
always deserve,
boring.
not, yeah, but also not everyone deserves the best of you.
No.
You get what you like are putting out too. Like I'm meeting you where your
Yeah.
energy is like lying right now. So
Yeah, 100%.
that's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, so I will I'll do drinks. I guess I'll do coffee, but typically during the day the thing is I don't want to go get coffee on a weekend because I want to hang out with my friends and I don't want to get coffee super early in the morning with somebody. I guess I'll do like I've done afternoon coffee before, but I'm totally fine with grabbing like a cocktail.
Okay. Tell me what your cocktail is. What's your cocktail?
Ugh.
What's your drink of choice?
I love a wine bar.
Me too. I'm a
Yeah,
wine girly.
I like a wine. I'll do a dirty martini. I'll do a margarita. Those are my two go-tos, I think.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
we're similar. You know, if I'm really vibing, I'll like in a little espresso martini, feeling all like
Oh,
proper.
sure.
Gives me a
So
little
that
kickstart.
I drink around 6 shots of espresso a day. So if I have an espresso martini in the evening, like something is gonna go wrong.
Like it's what do you mean something's gonna go wrong?
I don't know. It's either that I am gonna act like I am on some kind of controlled substance, or um, and I do feel like doing 6 shots of espresso. People are like, "This is why you have stomach problems," but shut up. It's not. It isn't, and I won't hear it. I have I have a autoimmune disease, so it's not because of the coffee, but um going on that, like if I drink more coffee at night, like I'm gonna have to leave the party and use the bathroom.
Oh God, that's what we're talking about. Okay, well at least we
Yeah.
know things are moving.
Yeah, we're never not talking about that with me. I'm so sorry,
No,
Ashlyn.
same. I am like I am there. Listen, you can talk about anything with me. Nothing is disturbing at all.
Amazing.
I am like, I have my AG1s in the morning, my bone broth and my coffee, and I'm a regular gal. She just has to have her routine.
That's great. I am not regular, but it is because I have colitis. So like
Okay.
that's where the autoimmune disease comes in.
So when we date and we go on dates, do we have to be really mindful of what we're ordering? So
Yes, I'm celiac as well.
yeah, so no one's ordering for you. Like, let me order for the table. That's not you. You're not doing that. You're like, no, no, no,
No.
no, no. I'm particular.
Also, again, that to me is somebody who's being very familiar.
Ooh. I
I
hate it.
just,
I gotta be honest. I didn't even think of it till it came out of my mouth. It could be a red flag for me.
yeah, it's just like, don't assume what I want to eat.
Thank
I
you.
don't even know what I want to eat.
Yeah,
How dare
exactly.
you? Let's call my mom.
I have a voice. Let me
Yeah.
use it. Thank you. I don't need anyone ordering for me.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Somebody on a second date told me that they don't want to be fed. Like they were like, hey, I just want to get ahead of this. My big red flag is somebody feeding me. And I started laughing because I was like, oh, are you under the impression that I'm going to try to feed you on this second date? And they were like, yeah, I just didn't want to it's just a huge ick for me. I was like, oh, totally. I would never do that.
Oh my gosh, I love
Um,
this.
but obviously that had happened to them on like an early date. Like otherwise, why bring it up? It was so funny.
Do you have, when you talk about like all of these different funny like situations, do you have a fun like girls group chat? Because I just feel like I need to know someone. The only way I can know someone is have an I in their group chat.
Oh, 100%. Okay, so I am, especially when I have a crush, which currently,
Tell it, spill the beans, spill
no,
it.
I don't talk publicly really on it. I don't talk publicly in real time about who I'm dating.
Well, we don't have to
Um,
talk about who you're dating, but are we crushing?
yes, yes, yes.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Just sort of the prettiest princess in the world. But I um will send text messages that are like, okay, well, she said she wants to see me again. Smiley face. What do you think that's about?
What does
And
this mean?
most people are like, well, it sounds like she wants to see you again. But then other mentally unwell people who are also in my group chat will be like, okay, does she normally use a smiley face or does she use a heart? Because those two things are different. And I'm like,
Different.
and thank you. So that's sort of what I'm doing in the group chat. I'm like taking screenshots, but for the purposes of sort of trying to understand like the social context of texting and to get people's opinion on like, hey, should I spin out about the fact that she put a period here? And then people are
Oh
like,
my God.
probably not. Does
Not.
she usually use punctuation? And I'm like, yeah, but it's not an exclamation point. And it's like, okay. So those types of things are going on in the group chat, along with just sort of like random facts that I've learned during the day.
I love this for
Um,
you. I'm knee deep in conspiracies, so I'm like the opposite.
okay.
And there's so much going on in the world, and there's so many
Yeah, that feels
conspiracies.
bad.
It's wild, and it's all day. I have like literally, I'm on this podcast for an hour, and I guarantee you, my Nancy conspiracy theory group chat or my Epstein files one is popping the
Oh,
fuck
for
off. I
sure.
probably have 150. I mean,
Absolutely.
we are trying to solve these crimes
Yes.
because
Now, if that
if women aren't going to do it, who the fuck is the
well, nobody,
question.
truly.
Nobody.
But does that make you feel more grounded and like in because it sounds like then you feel more in control if you're like trying to solve something.
Yeah,
Like does that make you feel safer, I guess, like with these crazy things happening in the world?
I don't know. That's a great question. I should probably reflect about it because
Sorry, not my
this could be
podcast.
why I'm not sleeping. Last night I was up till 3 o'clock, and I'm like, why am I
Yeah.
not sleeping? Well, it could be the group chats. It's the
I think
conspiracies that I'm trying to solve in my head. I can't
so
sleep.
I know. I was
It's
also up
dark.
very late, like looking at the news, but then I was like, I'll soothe myself and I'll watch a show about murder.
Same, same,
It's
same.
like,
I was
okay,
on
so that's not
deep in
soothing.
Hulu. The
Yeah.
Girl on the Run was for me last night.
Oh, okay. I
So,
turned on, I think it was something on Netflix about serial killers that were like out, like that were somehow like loose in the
oh,
world. It
great.
was, yeah. And then I was like, why am I doing this? I don't have any curtains. Like,
Literally sleeping with one eye open.
yeah, stop this.
I agree with you. I agree with
But
you.
I don't have a lot of group chats that are like that, but my mom will send me like random terrible things that are happening in the news along with just because she's so distraught, along with her plans to buy like a French villa and like live abroad.
I love this. I love this. I
Yeah.
mean, I will say I haven't searched Zillow like I have in the last probably year now to find homes abroad. I'm like,
Yeah.
someone take me.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yeah.
I'll go anywhere. Just like literally my algorithm is like people are willing to pay for you to come live in their village. Like
Yeah.
twist my arm at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like
No,
ready
there
to get
are
out.
those programs. But I'm sure having sort of a stable family is keeping you here.
Yeah, seriously. That too. Thank goodness. And my family checks every box. So I'm like every day I'm
Yeah.
like, what's now? So
Yeah.
here we are. I do have like now that we're finally, we had the Chinese New Year. We ended the year of the snake. We're
Yeah.
riding into the year of the horse. Like, what are you
Mhm.
calling in? Like, so much is going on in your
Mhm.
life. Like, we have this new little baddie, cutie crush. Don't know who. But what are you calling in for yourself right now?
Um, well, I will say that I've always been like very career focused. So I like with Pretty Gay kind of like um getting this recognition and this like pop or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It was definitely not the path that I thought I would be on. I mean, I moved to Los Angeles to pursue acting, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started doing stand up because I love attention and and then obviously like Pretty Gay came about. And that's now been my career, which has been amazing. But I have really been looking at like the next thing and like what is the next thing and like what's the next thing in building like the Pretty Gay empire and the Pretty Gay universe, but also like who's Katherine outside of that? And how do I show people who I am? So I've been trying to call in just like the answer to, I think, that question, because as people, maybe this is how you feel, but as people who talk and put a lot of content online or just like out there, and people think that they know you,
Mm-hmm.
and people think they know me through Pretty Gay, but I'm, or my stand up, but I'm very controlled in what I share. So,
Mm.
um, I don't want to lose that, but I do want people to know like a little bit more of like who I am and my dreams and aspirations outside of Pretty
Yeah.
Gay. So I think I'm just finding the next chapter of storytelling while continuing to build Pretty Gay.
That's amazing. And I like to always kind of ask this, especially someone who's lived so many transformations at this point in your life. Like, what does living wide open mean to you right now?
Hmm. Um I think it means doing hard work, but following the path of least resistance
Hmm.
in my own like personal life. I think like being very like specific about like what you want can be beautiful, but it can also be limiting. So trying to like sort of let go of that narrative of like it has to go this way um, has been more freeing.
Mm-hmm.
um, it's opened up more brain space for me to be involved in like my community more. So to me, that's living wide open, is just like investing in my community and letting go of like the specific way that I want things to go.
I love that. That's so beautiful. And thank you for sharing. And thank you for being on Wide Open. And for all of our listeners out there or anyone watching, go check out Catherine's show, Pretty Gay. It is so good. You said it's on Patreon.
Yes, it's on
And you
Patreon.
have such a great queer community. So for everyone out there, please go check it out. And is there anything else you would like to say to our guest? Anything you're working on? Go follow you. Like
Oh,
here
yeah.
is the moment.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Follow me online. You can, I mean, I'm not a good businesswoman, so my socials are just Katherine underscore McCaff, which is like so silly. But then also, I just like do think that it is a time where people feel very overwhelmed with like what to do and maybe even paralyzed by the news. But if you don't know like what to do, but you do have time, a great website to go to is Five Calls. And that's an organization that will list like the issues that are of the day that we need to be calling our reps about. And if you sort of
Mm,
roll your eyes and you go like, well, they're not going to do anything because historically, like they're not fighting for us really, but it is an election year, so they want to
mm-hmm.
keep their jobs. So calling does matter. And then if you have money, if you want to give money to somewhere, the National Immigration Law Center helps with legal defense funds for immigrants and then reuniting families that have been separated by the unethical practices of ICE. And then the Transgender Law Center is a great way to support our queer siblings.
I love that. And our voice matters so much. And I appreciate you doing the show and doing the things that you do to celebrate queer joy. Like, that's
Yay.
truly it. And at the beginning of the show, you spoke about coming out later in life because you didn't get to see people like you. And I think you're changing that landscape, and the diversity of the people you choose to be on that show matters. And the things that you talk about really, really matters. And having microphones and platforms to speak on the right side of change matters. So thank you for doing that and showing up the way you do and giving this younger generation perspective of what possibility, like it's just endless. We can be
It's
anyone.
endless.
We can be
You really
anyone,
can.
and we can be celebrated for that, and we don't have to be
Absolutely.
scared. So
Yeah.
lean in, my little gay babies.
Yes.
We are here for you.
Yes, we're
Come,
here. We're a
come
resource.
close. Here's a warm hug.
Use
But
us.
thank you so much, Katherine. You were such a dream. And
Thank you so much for having me. This was
of
so fun.
course, of course. And I hope we get to hang out soon.
Yeah, now we know each other.
Exactly. Now our next date, I'm going to know the do's and the
Yeah,
don'ts.
exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. No flip-flops, and don't make future plans with me.
exactly. And don't put your feet on the table. No feet play.
No, never. Never, never.
Well, you're
never.
such a sweetheart. Thank you so much. Everyone go check out Pretty Gay. And that's wide open. And thank you for being so vulnerable and authentic. You're the best.
Thank you.
And you make me laugh, which
Oh,
I
good.
need. Fuck's sake.
I talk so much.
No, you don't. You're perfect. Just the way you are.
Amazing.
You're perfect. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's show as much as I did. I laughed my little tushy off, and I learned a little bit about queer dating. Katherine really reminds us that authenticity isn't always easy, but it is so freeing. Whether you're navigating dating, identity, or simply learning how to show up as ourselves, her honesty and humor make space for all of us to feel a little more seen and a little more less alone, let's just say. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might be needing it today. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for being wide open, and we'll see you next week.